You know how us do it. After the church meeting was over, we don't like what Rev said. We form our own little posse. We get off to the side and start whispering. Talk to me, somebody. Talking about conspiracy. I don't like what he said. I don't think that's the way it ought to be done. Talk to me, somebody. We ought to get rid of him. That's what they was doing to David. They said, let's stone this joker. He's the problem. He's the reason our children been taken captive. He's the reason our house got burned down. Talk to me. You should have been mad at the enemy. It was the Amalekites that did the damage. Oh, y'all ain't saying nothing. But I found out that's the way most conspiracy is. It's a cover-up. Oh, y'all ain't saying nothing. Do I have some witnesses? And as soon as the prayer meeting was over, David must have been disappointed. Not in the Amalekites, but the one that he had been praying with. Oh, say something, somebody. David had been praying to God, consulting God on behalf of the church. But soon as the prayer meeting was over with, they turned on David and said, let's kill this joker. Let's stone him. Because the Bible said their souls of the people was grieved, every man for his son and his daughter. Now who had them? The Amalekites. David didn't have no prison. He didn't hold them in stocks and bonds. But it was the Amalekites that came in and helped David to deal with this disappointment. You got to, first of all, consult with God. Not only, brothers and sisters, you got to recognize where your disappointments are coming from. These were inner circle disappointments. Some of your closest friends that you hang with is going to be the very ones that disappoint you. But you got to be like David. You got to have an insight into the Word of God. You got to be strong enough to realize that how do I handle this stuff? How do I deal with all of my disappointing moments? Instead of taking matters into your own hand, we need to learn to cultivate a prayer language to God. I need to go into deep dialogue because I found out that dialogue is me talking to God and God talking back to me. Do I have some witnesses here? So my brothers and my sisters, somebody here today are dealing with some conspiracy. Somebody has mistreated you. Somebody have done you wrong. But instead of trying to get even, you need to consult with God. You need to do what David did. David called a prayer meeting. Do I have some witnesses here? And so as I get ready to bid you farewell, let me summarize this little information that's going to help you to deal with your disappointments. Do I have some witnesses? So brothers and sisters, I told you, if you trust in God, regardless to what you're faced with, regardless to what you go through, if you trust in God, I found out that God will see you through. Anybody here know He will? When you talk to God about your problem, I found out when I can't talk to folk, I can talk to God some disappointing moments from his inner circle. You know, Big Mouth Peter said, Lord, I'll die for you. Lord, I'll follow you wherever you go. But you know the story. He denied him. He deserted him. He distanced himself from Jesus. And I know Jesus must have been disappointed. But I can hear him telling Peter, let not your heart be troubled. You believe in God. Believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. And guess what, Peter? I'm on my way to die for you. And he died one Friday evening. They buried him in Joseph knew tomb all night Friday, all night Saturday. But early, oh, shucks him. Anybody here know it was early Sunday morning? Man faced some disappointments. Man didn't have no way out. But I'm so glad trouble don't last always. I'm so glad he died. Anybody know he died? Didn't he? Didn't he? Didn't he? Didn't he? Didn't he die one Friday evening on yonder's mountain? But I'm so glad he got up. Tell your neighbor, he got up with all power. Did he do it? Deal with disappointments. Consult God. Tell him about your troubles. Don't worry about the conspiracy. Folk gonna talk about you. Folk gonna lie with you. Folk gonna scandalize your name. But greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. I'm learning. I say I'm learning how to deal with my disappointments. I ain't there yet. If you